My name is Madeline Parker. I'm an astrologer, and today we're going to take a look at the astrology for the weekend of August 23rd, starting with today, Friday. So let's take a look and see what the current transits have to say. As above, so below. So the most interesting thing is that we have the moon today in the sign of Aries, which is interesting because Mars rules Aries, and Mars is quite active right now. It is making this beautiful roof energy, sextiling Chiron in retrograde, which Mars rules Aries. Chiron is in retrograde Aries. And then Mars is also sextiling Mercury. These are fire energies, Mercury Leo retrograde, and Mercury retrograde forming a trine to Chiron retrograde in Aries is basically we're making some real contact with insecurities and fears, and Mars ruling the moon there. Moon, wherever the moon is, it gives whenever the moon is in Aries, especially Aries in the house that it's transiting, gives us a lot of focus, energy, and especially when it's in the Aries sign, we're really feeling motivated and driven. And then Mars making this powerful connection with Mercury and Chiron in retrograde, we're really making a connection. We're really kind of taking action to bust through certain fears that have been holding us back, insecurities. We're really stepping out of these. And this is involving that Saturn-Jupiter square, because that Saturn-Jupiter square is showing us our blind spot. And the blind spot is where we're too afraid to go, or we feel insecure, we don't think we can handle something, or we can't do something. So with this Mars forming this roof energy around making connection with that retrograde energy where we're going inward and connecting with our insecurities and our fears, it's saying take action. The moon there, take action to how we're going to heal this is through action, through bold movement, through instigating, through kind of pushing through it. And then that fear really gets eradicated. It gets deleted through action. A lot of healing. There's powerful healing modalities, but one of the most powerful healing that we can do is to actually move contrary to our fear, to act. So these energies are emboldening us, empowering us to move into our blind spot areas where we're afraid to look with that Jupiter square Saturn, to kind of boldly take on action that is going to progress our path, our calling, our mission, our purpose, and to really set us on a more empowered path to be able to pull this off, to be able to pull our abundant future off here. So we're really busting through these barriers that are internal, that are holding us back. So the other thing that's going to happen on this weekend is we're going to have the moon shift into Taurus, which is a calm and grounding energy, which is quite the opposite of Aries. It is more nose to the grindstone, sort of. It could, some people, depending on what's going on in your chart, you could be working hard at something steady, very calm, and feeling very at peace and enjoying it. And then, but here's the thing, is that the ruler of the moon is Venus, and Venus is in Mercury in a Virgo energy, which is a little debilitated, which is a little insecure, which is critical, awkward. And so it's squaring Mars. So it's almost like we're countering that critical, because a lot of these insecurities and things that are internal woundings come from a critical internal dialogue, or a critical Mercury, critical Virgo energy, where it's sort of mental, because that Jupiter in Mars and Gemini, it's mental. So it's almost like we're ending critical perceptions that are mental, that are dividing us from the true heart experience in romance, in love, because these critical mental things cause out of alignment, send us the wrong way. So we're ending that with that square. We're eliminating critical dialogues, Mercury, that are because Virgo is ruled by Mercury, and Mercury retrograde in Leo. It's like we're making contact with the inner critical we have pride. Usually sometimes is a false pride where it's hiding in the security. So we're sort of ending that inner insecurity, so that we're not making a false sense of pride, as it were. So basically, we're really doing some major inner work right now in order to bust through, to get to the right energy for our calling, to take the Saturn-Jupiter mission. That was the Saturn-Jupiter conjunction 2020, December 21, where we really stepped into our callings and our purposes more. The majority of people really did. And now we're coming into our blind spots, what's stopping us from really progressing this so that it is stably, so that we're successful for 30 years, because Saturn is a 30 year, is really trying to shape us. Well, 30 years since 2020. And that's 4 years ago. So we're taking a sort of a relook at where we've come from that time and seeing what blind spots we have. And a lot of that is fear-based, neglected areas of our journey that we have to go back. Because all these planets are in retrograde, Chiron, Saturn, and Mercury. We have to go back, redo something, restructure ourselves, face that blind spot, face that fear, that insecurity that's stopping us from taking our calling progress forward, eliminating that through action, through doing the contrary thing, and through ending critical inner dialogue around ending the mental critical dialogue that's preventing us, that causes us to be to deny and turn away from our blinds, to create the blind spot that we don't feel confident enough around tackling. With that Mars ruling Aries moon today, we're going to be feeling that more. We're going to take contrary action to overcome these debilitating insecurities, and they're caused by inner critical thinking. All right, I hope that was helpful. Have a wonderful weekend. Namaste.